Hello, so today we're going to be going through our Kryon F install video. Before starting, it's very important to physically and visually verify that the chamber is empty before proceeding. Our first step is going to be to remove the existing flash hider. Now that we have the muzzle device removed, we're going to go ahead and degrease and also brush off any crud or previous rock set or anything that's on the threads. We're going to do this for the barrel threads as well as our muzzle adapter and the F adapter. So I like to use a metal brush with some acetone. We're going to repeat that step for our muzzle device. So very important, just get those threads very clean, degreased. I prefer using a Q-tip to really ensure that everything is removed from the threads. And we're also going to do the same thing on our F adapter on the threads themselves. Same thing with the brush, Q-tip. All right, our next step is going to be to do a dry fit. So we're going to install the Kryon F adapter onto the barrel. Depending on how you're setting this up is going to determine the torque value for this. If you're using a QD suppressor muzzle device, it's important to understand the instructions and what the torque value is recommended for the device and go a couple foot-pounds more on the F adapter. The reason being, if it's the same or if you put a little bit less here, when you go to time this and add torque, you may turn your F adapter. Here I'm going to snug it. This particular adapter, it's 25 inch-pounds for the installation, so I'm going to put about 30 back here for the test fit. Once you have this snugged up, you're going to want to put your QD muzzle device, thread it onto the barrel, as well as the Kryon tube. All right, so now that the tube's installed, threaded onto the F adapter, it's important to notice where these access ports end up at, right? So if you're using a thread-on suppressor, you may not want to adjust these access ports. You can adjust the timing of them, the location of them, by adding shims to the F adapter. In this particular case, the QD suppressor we're using has a collar that you need to be able to access and be able to interact with, right? So optimally, we want this access port around the 12 o'clock. To achieve this, I'm going to add some shims to the rear of the F adapter. As you can see, the location of the access ports has been adjusted to a more centralized 12 o'clock location. This is going to be key in allowing me to access and turn the collar of this particular suppressor. Now I'm going to remove this tube, unthread it. We're going to check the location of the QD muzzle device, and then we're going to determine what amount of shims to hit that 12 o'clock, that proper orientation. In this case, it's a muzzle device. I want these ports facing the 3 and 9 o'clock. If it's a flash hider, a lot of them don't need to be timed at all if it's like a 3-prong or something like that. Again, we're doing everything dry first to ensure alignment. Snug it. Okay. At this point, I'm going to add the suppressor. This seems ideal. Allows me full access to the collar. I'm going to go ahead and start removing the tube itself, suppressor. Now I'm going to remove all these sub-assemblies. I'm going to go to apply rock set and then the proper torque value. It's very important to apply the rock set forward of the shims. You don't want to get any of this rock set in between the shims or against the barrel shoulder. It can cause some issues. So starting here, a little bit of rock set. I like to go ahead and thread and back off a few times just to make sure that all the threads get coated. Again, I'm going a little bit higher torque than the adapter itself, than the muzzle adapter. Okay, I got that torqued. Okay, I'm going to visually check alignment. I'm happy with the orientation of all this. The next step is to add our suppressor. It's ultra important, no matter what suppressor, what system you're using, to always check alignment with the rod. That extra safety measure to ensure that you're not going to get a baffle strike. I'm checking here. Rod centered, it's not touching on the bore of the suppressor. Show you all what that looks like. This install is complete. It's very important to follow the instructions of the rock set. Allow this to cure for 24 hours before firing. This concludes the Kryon F install.